Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday IX Ambassador Rewards call with myself, Chris Lengle. I've got with me Bryan Robert, who is Elite Ambassador to IX Global. He's not just that, 30-year networker, and actually his background is consulting as well with comp plans. So, there's a lot of interesting things we're going to talk about today. We're going to describe not just if you're brand new, how you can get going and make money. And what I say is the highest paying compensation plan ever created. I mean, it's so big. We're going to get into that. But you're going to be excited because you're going to understand a little more of how do you make money, but also how, what is your goal? I mean, you can dream big here because IX Global is exploding. How can you get to those ranks? How can you make that money that you want to, that can really be life-changing? And it's happening for, all of us here. And even in the holiday season, right? We're in the middle of the holiday season and IX, our businesses, are just exploding. And every one of us can have that because guess what? This is the best time of year to build, to really launch 2023. So it was a great idea. And I want to introduce real quick is Mr. Samuel from Ghana, Africa. Me and Samuel have, gotten to know each other over video, but Samuel it's exciting for Samuel because he actually got to meet and hug Ozzy and Brian and Paul and Joe when they were over there. And this was actually Samuel's idea, was to do this call because, he's having such explosive growth to really help his team, but also it was something really good idea for all of IX Global. Like, hey, let's share a little bit more of this rewards plan, because when you really understand it, it'll blow your mind. The more you dig into it, the better and better it gets. And this is why we have some of the top people in the world, top income earners in the whole world in network marketing in IX Global. So Samuel, I'd love for you to kick us off, and then me and Bryan are going to dive in.
All right, so fellas out there, it's a privilege to be amongst the legends. It's a blessing to have each and every one of us here with Brian himself, with Chris, with Ozzy, and a couple of friends called I See Him. It's a blessing to be on IX Global. As a matter of fact, this is the most transformational platform I've ever come across since my period of experience in the networking space. I started network 2006, and when I got involved with IX Global, I said to myself, this is the easiest compensation plan I've ever seen out there. And of course, I'm not surprised. We have an explosion already in Africa. Our team is vamping up, and each day we have a massive number of people seeking to know about this opportunity, seeking to know about the compensation plan, seeking to know how they can max out of the compensation plan. And I'm grateful we have the big shots here to actually explode this opportunity for these guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Before I jump into what I'm thinking I'm going to show, Bryan, is first I want to show kind of the packs real quick so people can understand that, because what the nodes have done is it's kind of shifted a little bit, right? We used to have kind of some basic pro pack trading, but now it's kind of given an extra element because we have where you can buy perpetuals, you can do rentals. So it gave a little bit more dynamic to our comp plan, which is a great thing, but also to understand it. But before that, Bryan, I'd love you to kind of talk a little bit, maybe just what makes IX Global in a way different, kind of in the theory side of compensation plan. Because like you taught me, is like there's no gimmies and gotchas. This is a compensation plan volume, like all these certain things. Can you just kind of hit on that, because you've been doing compensation plans for so long?
Yeah, I mean, if everybody wants to find a comfortable spot, grab a pillow, and I will talk you all to sleep tonight. One of those 2-hour podcasts, where you fall asleep and you're dreaming about whatever they're talking about. Yeah. So compensation plans are really interesting. And I like what you said, Chris. We have the highest paying compensation plan. I can design a compensation plan that pays higher than we are, and it would be far worse than what we have, because, in compensation plans, it's not how much you pay, it's where you pay. I could design a compensation plan where all the people at the bottom can't make any sort of money, and there's 5 of us at the top that just make all the money, and we're the highest paying compensation plan in the world. And so, compensation plans are really interesting. And let me tell you the history of comp plans, but I won't go through the history of comp plans. But, since we are recording this, compensation plans really started off as a way to give somebody incentive to help somebody else. Started off really in the Great Depression, when they didn't have money to pay a new salesperson. But what if you had been doing sales, right, door-to-door sales for 20 years, and they wanted you to teach somebody else? Well, would they give you an incentive to give all your tips and tricks and everything you've done and help that person and help them make their first sale and everything else? Well, then they give you a little percentage, of what they did. And of course that evolved into, well, what if that person trains, another person? And over time, this went into network marketing. And, fast forward, there's been incredible compensation plans that have been created over the years. But the thing that we saw, really way back in 2006, 2005, was that, the most important things were getting somebody where they were profitable and getting them to make $500 a month. And our theory that we had even way back then was, what if you could, that would lay a stronger foundation, instead of just one person who's making just crazy amounts of money, but all the new people are making almost nothing. What if there was a way that we could shift it? Because in every compensation plan that's ever been created before Wake Up Now, when we wrote that plan, 80% of all the money that was paid out to the top 10 percent or 20% of the people, and 20% of the money, everybody else split up on the bottom. And we said, what if there was a way to shift it to where 80% of the money was being paid out to 80% of the people? How novel of an idea is that? Of course, it had never been done in 100 years. And that top 20% is still making an incredible amount of money, but they're making a fair amount of money. And so that was the idea. And of course, it's gone and it's evolved to what we have over here. But if you want to know, and we'll dive into details, but at its deepest base, the thought process of what we have here is that the average person can change their life with an average amount of work, right? An average person is not going to go make millions of dollars if they're doing an average amount of work. However, they should be able to have an impact with, the work that they can do. And hopefully that will push them to do an above, average amount of work and get to those places. And most comp plans are not designed that way. And then for the top leaders or mid-level leaders, you'll notice in most of the plans, I always say there's asterisks, right? There's all these asterisks, at the very, very bottom of these comp plans. Well, but this has to happen here and this has to happen here. And I've wrote those types of plans for companies by their request. And they're like, is there a way we can make it look like they're making more money, but actually take money away from them? And I'm like, yeah, there's 100 ways you can do that. And all you do is you put asterisks. Well, but you don't actually get your check if this person doesn't do this, and this person doesn't do this, and this person, and it's all these convoluted things. And I can't take as much credit for this comp plan as Joe, as Josh, some of those. I think it's a foundation that we built upon, but we wanted simplicity. Simple is easier. I've had people call me over the years and say, bro, we have 10 ways you're going to get paid, 12 ways you're going to get paid. And I'm like, well, there's 10 ways or 12 ways I'm going to get paid, but there's about 2 ways my people are going to get paid. And there's only 100 pennies in a dollar. So if you're paying 50% of those pennies and you're dividing it up 10 ways, and a new person is only going to get 2 of those ways to be able to make money, well, how much money are those new people actually able to earn? And so that's kind of the old way of thinking of the compensation plans. And what we wanted to create over here, with Joe's vision and the stuff that we've done in the past, was a way that people are earning all the ways from day one with very few gotchas or anything like that. And I think we've accomplished that as anyone here that has started going through the compensation plan. For anybody that's new, of course, there's slight complexities when they're first getting involved, just with the thoughts and the aspects of it. But that's natural. There's nothing wrong with that. Taking a little time. And I always say, like, so I play basketball. You could watch Michael Jordan play or watch the NBA finals. It's not going to make you a better basketball player. The minute you go out and shoot for the first time, you're going to airball it. When you learn by building, and as you are building and you're working, then the questions will come up. You'll start to think, oh, okay, well, maybe I should have done this like this. But it's a very forgiving plan, because everything is done based on residual and everything is done based on volume. And so it becomes very simple. And unlike other plans, it actually becomes easier and easier, as you go up. So that's my initial thoughts on the compensation plan. And I'll turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Bryan. Everyone, Bryan's podcast will be on the IX Global website, where he can teach you
5 hours.
5 hours of comp plan. No, I know it's not for everybody, but I was always fascinated, Bryan, because whenever I got to meet you, is really understanding the intricacies of how these things work. And you always said the comp plan should be what drives the behavior of your distributors, right? It's like that's really what it is. And what is your comp plan based off of? And I think that's why we're having so much growth and so much success, is because, our compensation plan is just modeled. And I love this. We're by networkers for networkers. It's built for people, the little guy, the brand new person to make money. It's built for the middle, right? For somebody to make an extra 500,000 to 8,000 a month. And then we can build big money, for the big guys, right? If you want to go make a fortune through the other side of our comp plan. So let's dive in. What I want to talk about first, and then Bryan, jump in, or I'll bring you in on a lot of these little features, and because we want y'all to understand a little more. So just to jump in, we've added things like perpetual licenses. Well, each one of these comes with volume and a direct sales fast start, right? Direct sales residual bonus, and they come with volume. And we're going to talk about what that volume means as you build your business. But you can see if somebody comes in and does a purchase on any of these, it comes with volume and a direct bonus. The rentals also come with a $10 bonus and $90 of personal volume attached to that. And that's kind of where I'm going to jump into the next thing. But, I'm going to hit on it now, Bryan, because I'm thinking of it. The coolest thing about the nodes and the rentals is, before, somebody would do one pro pack, right, and get all the training. Well, now people are doing 2, 3, 5, 10 auto ships because of these node rentals and the return and the excitement. And I've never seen anything like that in networking ever, where one person can become 3, 5, 10 people in sales volume. So I'd love for you to hit on that before, because I'll get through it and I'll forget. But
sure,
you and me had that epiphany, and it has really happened to be part of that explosive growth over here.
Well, not just, you've never seen anything like it. No one on the planet Earth has ever seen anything like it, myself included. And I won't name names, but, when I was in, previous companies, maybe selling a bottle of juice that has acai in it, I never had people calling and saying, how many bottles of juice can I get this month? Are they sold out? What can I do to get more? Please let me buy more. I'm just hoping they're going to get their auto ship for the month. And, and everybody's experience after you've been doing this for a little while, what's cool about this is exactly right. I had a friend that joined the business. This is not a person that will probably ever build. Maybe they'll put a few people in, their cousins or people that they show and everything. But he wants to do 20 rentals and wants to continue to try to do whichever ones that are available. And it's like bringing, 20 people in the business. Now, what that does is it activates a few things. The first thing that you said is that's a residual fast start. What we're used to in the past in this industry is someone comes in, they buy like the join package, and then they get a fast start. At the beginning, it's a one-time thing, and then the person's on their auto ship. They'll never again see a direct bonus from that. This is a residual direct bonus, not just on this, but on our normal packs and everything else. So thinking here, first way we're paid, residual direct bonuses every single time someone, purchases that pack, and it becomes a customer, whether they're building the business or they're just a customer for whatever we have, whether that's the education, whether that's trading, whether that's nodes or whatever it might be. It's a residual direct bonus from those purchases that they're making, and that in and of now, that we're not the only company that has that, but it's a kind of a new thing. There's very few companies that have that, and it kind of brings a strong precedence for those people that are big sponsors, which I'm not, but for those that might have 100 people, or 200 people that they sponsor in their time here, and maybe each one of them has 2 or 3 or 4, well, it becomes a significant residual recurring income as those people are making their purchases.
That's huge, Bryan, and well said. And the thing that I want everybody to understand is you can just do, and we're going to get into that direct bonus. I love you already hit on that, Bryan, is you can do a $10 node subscription. It's $25, $10, and just do rentals, right? And it qualifies you. And I'm going to hit that first, because I want to share this next slide, because a lot of people, if you're new, you don't even know that IX Global started as a financial education, trade alerts, Forex, crypto, and that's what these other packages you might see. And I want to hit this too, is so you understand that there's volume attached to each of these packages. And it's a great way to also, I'm encouraging my team is don't just, if you're doing rentals, jump on one of these packs, start to learn the market, start to get the education. Because Bryan, when I want to sell, a lot of you are thinking, well, hey, when should I sell my Nat G? Well, guess what? If you learn how to read the market, if you learn some of these principles, they transition over to where when's a good time to sell, when can I maximize my profit on these nodes, or you can literally create another stream of income through trading. And so these are our packs. My favorite's the Pro Pack. That gets you all the channels. You don't have to worry about premium. Basic pack if you just want to get started. Some of you can get just in with 50, or what I love about our company and is that you can do $10 a month and do nodes. And guess what? Any of them, as long as you're doing, I mean, with the Wii, you can earn up to $100, but any pack at 80 volume, which includes rentals, you're qualified to earn commissions in IX Global. And Bryan, I think that's just such an incredible thing, because most companies will charge you a recurring distributor fee. Or Joe could have said, you know what, you got to be on a basic pack if you want to rent. But then he knew, hey, some people aren't into that, the residual or the earnings, who knows? But yeah, I just love that any pack you can earn.
Yeah, it's about creating an environment where people in any country can find success. Yes, some people might have to stretch themselves and everything. But just to your point, before we were partnered up with Debtbox, we were already breaking records. There's a reason for that. We were already one of the fastest growing companies ever, and so we, a lot of the other things that we have that we offer are important, in my opinion. At least being on that basic pack with the 115, where you get access. Really, the Pro Pack is where you should be. And, it comes back down to reinvesting in your business. Now, we put it in a situation, you don't have to, but you also don't have to work very hard either in the business. And that's a choice. So, a lot of this is choices that we're putting, and we're making them affordable and everything. And we're keeping our margins as slim as absolutely possible in order to have people to get that.
Absolutely. And the last thing I want to say about this before we jump into the comp plan is, if you're a builder, if you're a leader, right? I'm the kind of guy, I'm a product of my product. I know people are going to ask me, so I'm on the Pro Pack. I love Empire. I know that team really well. They're trading education. So I'm on a Pro Pack. I'm doing rentals. I'm buying, but that's That's me. Bryan, I know you do the same thing. And I say, if you're going to build a business, like Bryan said, you at least should be on a basic, right? And then doing the other stuff. But it's up to you. It's just like Bryan said, depends on what you want to do as a leader. That's how I feel. But you don't have to, because anything you do here, if you're new, and everybody's in a different situation. If you're doing volume, you can earn money in IX Global. And so jumping in here, Bryan, I love you already hit on the direct bonus. Any package, and I only have to hit on this quick, and then Bryan, if you want, but you already said it. Quick, everything you do has a direct bonus attached to it. It's beautiful, right? And every month when they order, every order, you're getting that direct bonus for that residual fast money. Because some of us, man, we want to see that money quick, right? We want to see those checks in your back office. As soon as it happens, it'll show, hey, $15 you earned right away. So I love this direct bonus. But here's the key for all you brand new people. What is the number one thing you want to do if you want to build your business? Go get 3. Go share this. Go find 3 people on your team, and you'll hit the apprentice bonus. This is huge. And I'm going to talk about it for 1 second. I'm going to kick it to you, Bryan. But you can see if you earn those direct bonuses, and this is an example on the Pro Pack, 15, 15, 15, and $100. Guess what? You paid $145. You made $145 with 3 people. That means that your subscription's paid by the company. And I have had this question, so I want to say it. I had a couple of people say, hey, because they took their commissions out and said, hey, it's still charged my card. Isn't it free? It is not free. You earn that commission through the month, and then that will pay, or you can hold that money and transfer it. You could buy it, do anything you want with it, but that payment will pay, your wallet subscription will pay your monthly for whatever pack, or 3 rentals, you'll make $130 in your wallet. And then you can choose if you want to take that and put it towards another rental or whatever.
Well, what people don't understand is there may be one other company in the world that copied this, maybe 2. Nobody does this. This is the biggest bonus that no companies will even do this because it costs too much. What companies will do is they'll do things like 3 and it's free, 4 and you pay no more. But what's happening is they're not actually paying you commissions. And so that volume does not flow up into the tree. You're not getting any commissions for that. They're just simply sending you the product for free. This is a whole different thing. This is a whole different animal. This is bigger than what anyone can almost understand, that, you're getting paid these commissions, and then you can choose what to do with those commissions. And whenever you do that, it continues to pay. So that's incredibly powerful.
And Bryan, I know I've seen companies that have launched this and then taken it away because they're like, this is paying too much to our people, because it's the first step. You're a brand new person and you're already profitable. I mean, if I want to go open
everyone
up
that I've seen that's launched this way has changed it.
Yeah. And so, but we want that. We want our people to be profitable. So, and this is the other. So these 2 parts is, if you just want to understand one thing and you want to teach one thing to your team, it's go get 3 and help them get 3. Because if you do that, you'll earn $87.50 a week just in the rank bonus. So you're now earning $350 a month plus the next bonus I'm going to show you. So you're earning between $400 and $500 a month with 12 people. And it's incredible. And Bryan, I'll just kind of hit real quick, and I'd love for you to give a little bit more insight. Yep. And then if you help 3 go get 3. Now, this is the best part. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? It doesn't have to be. It's not forced. Any way you get the volume, which Bryan mentioned and we could talk about, but we'll say it perfectly, right? 3 get 3 get 3. You're making 1,000. They get 3, 2,000, all the way up to $8,000 a month. So you can make 6 figures on these bonuses, but with 12 people, you can make $500. So how do you hit those higher bonuses? Go help more people make $500. But the beauty of it, and I'm going to kick it to you, Bryan, is you go get 3 and they get 1 and they make, 3 rental orders. All of a sudden, with just that many people, you've jumped to the next rank. And that's the crazy part about the rentals and the volume and the fact we're purely a volume-based comp plan.
Yeah. And Chris is not even telling it as good as it is. It's not 8,000 a month. It's 2,000 a week. When you start to do the math on that, it turns into, you get 4 extra weeks in the year, from that. So you're getting an extra 8,000. We do 28-week cycles. Most companies do monthly cycles. We are 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. which if you do the math, it pushes you out further than just 12 months does. So you actually make more money than we're even, telling you here. Another thing, just to reiterate what Chris said, it's not a structural based bonus, and it's not even based on people. It's based on volume. If you have 3 that you put in and they each have 4, rentals, say that, well, then you've hit that rank. And so the rentals have really changed it. The reason why we show it this way is just a logical way for people to be able to look at it that are new in the business. So it's far stronger, pays more than what you're even looking when you first see it. And that's why people get shocked whenever they start getting their checks, because they're like, well, hold on, I didn't quite understand, that how it was done and everything like that. Another thing is it doesn't run by months. It starts when you start, and it's these 4-week cycles. So it's very fair. I mean, there's so many things for networkers, Chris, right? Like you said, by network. There's so many strong things to this that no company has ever dreamed or dared of doing. And of course, that's why we're paying out so much money. So maybe we should rethink the plan, but no, it works. And it's exciting to see people succeed and make so much.
And Bryan, to mention that weekly, so you're 4 weeks, and then the next week, the last week falls off. So it's this continuous flow. But I remember building the monthly plan, Bryan, where the last day of the month you're trying to hit rank, but nobody wants to sign up because then their auto ship's going to hit. They don't even qualify. Here, no matter when they get in, they can qualify. And that also is such a key feature. I'm so glad you brought that up. It's huge.
Absolutely. Keep going. Well, you're good.
Yeah. I don't know how I drew this red
line.
So
do we want to go?
Oh, you're
very cool.
You guys are gonna hold on. Let me see if I can get rid of this red line for us. Oh crap. Hold on. You guys might have to look at this annoying red line. That might just be it. I'm not a master at this. All right, we're just gonna roll with it. You guys get that's the exciting red lines on my screen. Team commission, Bryan. This is where it gets fun to really understand. I like to describe it, and I'd love your to fill in. It's almost like we sandwich 2 of the best compensation plans, in my opinion, together, and they complement each other. Because in other companies that only do rank bonuses, you have these gaps, right? I remember building this plan. You're either making 5,000 or 2,500, and guess what? If you're 2 people off, you just lost half your paycheck, or if a team. But the binary, as we fill it in, actually will fill in those gaps. But with a binary, if anybody says to you, I don't like a binary, the reason most likely is because it takes a while to get that engine going. Well, guess what? Our rank bonus covers that. You can make that quick money, 500,000 up to 8,000, while you get this beast going. And then the binary is one of the most stable for volume. I love the team building aspect of building 2 legs, right? Because Bryan, right? You sign up 3 people. Guess what? One of them's got to go somewhere. Guess what? They're in somebody's team. Your team is grown.
Absolutely.
And so I want to talk about that. I'd love for you to talk about the percentages. So go ahead.
Yeah, you're exactly right. As you're building, and I love what Kevin Latmore says. He goes, this is kind of like your paycheck. You get up to $2,000 a week, so you're making that 8,000, 10,000, depending on how many weeks there are in the month. And in the meantime, you're building your binary. The power of how this works is you're getting your rank, by what you're doing in your individual enrollment tree. So the 3, the 4, 5, however many people that you've personally enrolled, every one of those people, you place them in your binary. Well, Chris, you could be somewhere down in my team, that somebody dropped in or something. You're not personally in my enrollment tree, but yet if I drop that person under you, well, you're making money from it. You're getting that volume in your binary. So it becomes a team building business. This business it's all about building depth. It's about building stability. And it's about helping everybody rise up. And there's all kinds of ways that you can do it. And the binary starts off at 10%. Well, that's where most binaries start and end, is 10%. It doesn't go any higher than that. But then a lot of times there's a lot of gotchas in binaries. Well, your volume flushes in 3 months or 6 months, or if you don't hit this rank or this rank, then your volume and everything goes away. We've taken out all that stuff. You know, if you're active and you get 100 million in volume that's stored up, you know, in your business, it's like a piggy bank, right? It's like a bank that's sitting there for you to get paid on at some time if you decide to go out, choose, and to build. And so what happens is, as you're building, you're starting to place those people, you know, within your organization. And then as your group is building, you can go from that 10% to that 15%. So that same $1,000 that may, you know, if you have 1,000 on your left, 1,000 on your right, it makes you $100. You're at 15%. Now that same made you $150. You continue to rank up, it goes up to 20%, which there's really not 20% binaries out there. There are, but there's so many that maybe is the only thing they have really is the binary, maybe a check match or some nonsense. And so, you know, this, it goes up to 20%. So that same 1,000 on one side, 1,000 on the other side is making you $200. And it starts to go from there, and you're digging down and you're helping your people and building with them as the volume continues to go to increase. So.
And Bryan, it's great because this is an infinity comp plan. You could go as deep as you want. And here, I want to actually kind of hit on this because as you're talking, I'm thinking some of these funny words we've heard. You know, we hear power leg and, oh, one of my legs took off. Oh no, like I have so much volume on one side and not the other. And these are all funny terms because, and I think one of the things you taught me that I love is always, let me see if I can describe it. You haven't had to tell me in a while, but you know, that person. Yeah, but, well, that one too. I want you to talk about that. Okay. But you know, people get upset like, oh my God, you know, I have 1,000 people on one leg and only 10 on the other. And you think about the beginning, right, Bryan? If I say, you know, you say to me, hey, Chris, I got a spot with 1,000 people on one leg, but only 10 on the other, and you're brand new, you would be jumping for joy. Holy cow, Bryan, this is the greatest day of my life. You're going to give me a whole team. But it takes off and they're like, oh no, my other leg's not building. And then so I'd love you to hit on that. And I'd love you also talk about how you can make 6 figures down one leg in this comp plan.
Absolutely. So, well, I'll hit on the 6 figures first down one leg of the comp plan.
Yeah.
So remember, this is a hybrid, right? So the 2 things are laid on top of the other. You have your enrollment tree, which means every person you personally enrolled goes directly under you in that enrollment tree. As that enrollment tree builds, doesn't matter where they're placing the binary. It could all be down one leg of your binary. Every person that you personally enroll could go down there. That will go up to the $500, you know, to the 1,000, you know, to the 2,000 a week just on that. So this is, I'm not saying it's the only one because obviously I've not seen every comp plan out there, but I can't think of another one where you can make a 6-figure income within a binary comp plan with all your volume down one leg. The only caveat would be you need to have 2 active people on your other leg, your cat and your dog. And now you're making a 6-figure income with everything down one leg. Don't really put your cat and your dog on it. This has been recorded. But you know what I'm saying, right? It doesn't have to be 2 builders. And so you can make a 6-figure income if you have just a runaway leg, you know, with people that you've enrolled and, you know, within this compensation plan. The other powerful part of it, well, kind of getting into a little more what you were talking about, power legs and things like that. I'm sorry, but anytime someone says that to me, it's just nonsense. I built the first binaries ever. There's no such thing as power leg. It's you know, the binary is a thinking person's compensation plan. You know, your biggest teams are going to be on the inside of an 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 inside leg somewhere, and that's where you get a group that's exploding and building. Well, if I have that on my right leg and it's here, and down's where you're going, well, what sense does it make to quote unquote put people down a power leg over here where those people aren't building? So if you have 10,000 people, Chris, under you, and you've never sponsored a person, but I'm going to drop 10,001, and you're like, That's what I was waiting for. Here we go. You're not going to do anything anyway. You find that person, and they get to one of the principles that I teach is you build where you're deserved, not where you're needed. You know, that person, that team is what's growing. That's how you light fire under your business. And guess what? It's still on your right side. You know, this isn't a formulaic way where I put everybody here and everybody here. Now, the only thing that I will say about that is when you first start, it's not a bad way to build, right? Okay, I'm putting everybody down my left that I sponsor on the outside leg. I'm putting everybody down on the right on my outside leg. You do that just for the simplicity because you don't have a developed organization. But as your organization develops, the way that you grow the size teams that I've grown and other people grow is you find those leaders on your right or on your left. You dig down, you build with those leaders. It still all flows up through everybody, you know, over here, but it's not something you build like a robot, because guess what? If you have 10,000 people on your right and every one of them wants to make money, they all have to have a left somewhere. So now that's 10,000. And then if that person has a left and a right, and it goes down and branches out, and where you have literally, when you get big groups, there are millions of places that you can place that are either on your left or your right of your business. And so you build where you're deserved, not where you're needed. You dive down, you find those people. If you need volume on your left, you find a group wherever on your left, no matter where they are, and you push and you build with them. And the beauty of this plan is that it just goes up. And really, Chris, the only rule we have in the plan, really, I mean, besides volume requirements, the only one rule is you have to have 2 personal sponsors on the left of your business that are qualified with 80 in volume, and 2 on the right of your business that are qualified. So people ask me, what's the first thing you do, Bryan? I say you sponsor 4 people. You put 2 on the left of your business and you put 2 on the right of your business, and you make sure that they stay active. And then after that, everything else starts to happen. And so that's really the simplicity of it. And I know we're explaining a complex thing simply, but it is kind of a simple thing. And that's the compensation plan. There's not all these other weird, strange bonuses, but that there of itself is paying, you know, we're paying 75% as a company, when most companies pay maybe 30%. No matter what they claim, I can tell you they pay maybe 30%, you know, back into the field. And, you know, that's just the philosophy that Joe had when we started. And yeah, go from there.
I love it, Bryan. And you're right. And, you know, like if you're working with a builder, you know, I would want to be on that weak leg. You know, I've even laughed about it. I'm like, I want to be where they're building, where they're pushing, right? And stuff like that. So there's some strategy there, like you said. But the beauty of it is, even if you sponsor that person 1 million people down, that's still your personal enrollment. It counts for the rank bonuses. It counts for your rank, all that stuff. So I want to go through this table, Bryan, to kind of wrap this up, just so somebody can read this. At first, it can look like, you know, trying to read a new language, but just so you all understand, so you can rank up, so you can hit these ranks for our incentive trip, right? The Awaken trip, Dominican Republic. We're launching on Friday. I'd love, Ozzy, if you take about 10 seconds at the end of this to just hit on that real quick, if you're open to it. But I do know, Ozzy, you're recovering from some illness. So if not, just shake your head at me and I'll run at it.
No, let's make Ozzy talk.
I think we should make Ozzy talk. So, ranking, right, Bryan, and understanding volume. The first one is your ranks, right? The ranks that you're trying to hit. The goal, the first big goals, and Bryan, you know, if you can tell me, is you want to get, obviously, apprentice is huge. You're paid, builder 500, and then you're going to want to get to influencer, because look, you get a 5% increase on your binary. That to me is a big rank, plus you're earning 1,000 a week. I like the influencer rank as that kind of first real tier once you get past builder, and obviously they're all great. And then global influencers, where you start to get to that 2,000 a week rank bonus. That's another great rank. And then Bryan, you and me talk about global ambassador, because now you're getting paid 20%. Now, what do each of these columns mean? Let me go through that. This is the percentage of payout in the binary, right, that Bryan talked about. We go from 10 to 15 to 20. This is the qualified volume per leg. So a qualified, we'll say enrollment leg, right? So if Bryan's enrolled me, that's 1. He's enrolled Ozzy, that's 2. And so So each of these legs, right? And then let's say he enrolls Nana, that's 3. He's got 3 legs, and it shows that he can take 35% of volume each leg. And the volume, so fit, right? 40%, you need to get 50,000. You can qualify 40% per leg. So you just have to calculate what's 40% of 50,000.
And the reason why they do that, just so everybody understands,
Yeah.
is that way you can't put in one person and go to sleep, and all of a sudden that person does 10 million volume and you've maxed out the comp plan. There has to be some sort of rules, within it. And sorry, people are continuing to text me and call me while we're on here. But yes, an influencer is kind of the rank that everybody should be shooting for if they're just, kind of getting involved, because you get up to that 15%, so you're getting a significant increase in what you're earning on your binary within that. And of course, making a solid income, right from there. You're making more money than most people will ever make in network marketing. And your pay continues to increase because now you're getting, that 15%. But go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. And so just so you understand simplicity, leg max, it actually gets easier to rank up because those legs, right? If you have myself, Ozzy, and Nana's taken off, Ozzy's taken off, and maybe my leg's little. Once you can actually utilize more of like Ozzy and Nana's enrollment as you go up in rank versus mine. So it actually, like Bryan said, and this is something we could dig in more. We're kind of getting close to the top of the hour, but just so you know, what this means is it gets easier to rank up as your leaders grow, right? If you get big leaders going out there and blowing it up, it gets actually easier to go up in rank. And so you can really calculate volume, by the percentage. You can see what you need each leg. And this is some higher level stuff as you become a leader of like, what do I have to do to rank up? It shows you about the average number of clients. 3 clients at this rank, 12 clients at this rank, 40 here, on a 80 or better volume pack. And then here's the weekly rank bonuses. And then this is an average of the monthly residual that you'll earn off of these, right? And obviously if it's balanced and stuff like that, but you can start to really see like, hey, if I want to make, Bryan, if I want to make $10,000 a month or more, I got to get right in about this rank right here. Well, what do I have to do? You know what? I got to get about this much volume through my organization. And that's really how you read this. And this is something I utilize when I'm like, how can I go to global influencer? How can I go to global ambassador? I now know this is what I have to do. But how do you get there? And then Bryan, I'd love for you to kick it to you. You know what I got to do? I got to create a lot of these right here.
Yep. Well, I think you're saying it right, Chris. The thought process should be, how many people can I help make $500 a month? How many of my people in my organization can I help get to $1,000 a month? Right now, to tell you right now, and I'll do 4 million in volume, 10 million in sales. And you know what my thought process is right now? Like you and I talking about, this person or that person, what, they're right there at getting their 500. They're right there at getting this. Of course, you still, pay attention to your top people, but the way you help your top people is you dig down in their organizations, you get on the calls, you find those people, because that builds the stability. You don't want to make $10,000 or $20,000 for a month or 2 months or 3 months. It might be nice, but it falls apart. You want to focus on those new people. It's another principle. And if you work with me for a long time, you're going to find I got all these sayings that I got from Barry and that I learned. One of them, I call it build slow to build fast. Building slow to build fast doesn't mean we want to build slow. Believe me, we want to build fast, but building slow means you're building a foundation. You're doing calls like this. You're teaching people. You're getting on calls. You're doing those extra things. You're becoming a leader. You're leading by example. You are the one stepping forward and showing them. I say a leader is not the person in the front of the room. A leader is the person that's there, that's putting the chairs up for the people, that's shaking the hands whenever people come into the meeting, that's staying late to have a conversation with someone that's probably not even in your team. You don't even know. And, that's kind of how the situation works. But yes, you get those people earning, because I tell you what, somebody's making 500 and they get some people doing that, all of a sudden they're at this. And the belief is absolutely through the roof. You think anybody's quitting if they're making $500 a month or $1,000 a month? There's nobody quitting. So you get as much of that as possible, and they duplicate and teach that to their people. And then before you know it, you're at that 10,000, you're at that 20,000. And I can tell you, it pays. I mean, if you look at business from home, Viraj just hit 1,080,000 a month. Was not, and technically it's not even a month. We're paying every 4 weeks. So he's making more than that, but that's how they do their thing, because it's old school, right? All networking companies. And so it's even more than that. And, you know, and most companies, the comp plans don't even have the ability to pay that much. It's not even possible for them to pay that, because you can never, you know, at it. But the thought process is, again, don't focus on your check, focus on your people's check. If you get them earning it, you will be stable. You will have more help. You will have excitement, stability, and your check will get there. Absolutely. Look, you know, if you're new and some of this stuff sounds foreign to you, I'm telling you that, you know, you'll be able to learn it. It does take a little bit of time. It's a very forgiving plan, so you're not going to make some kind of crazy mistake that it's going to ruin your whole business or anything like that. All right. So anyway, that's it from me. You know, just excited for everything's going on. Chris, like you said, we said November, December was going to be, you know, even crazier than the other months, and it's going that way. So anyway, with that, turn back over to you, Chris. Or you, Nana.
Yeah, go ahead, Samuel. Close us out, my man. Thank you, everyone. And Samuel, close us out for this call. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. So thank you so much, Bryan. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much, Ozzy, for such a wonderful presentation. Personally, I'm vamped up. As a matter of fact, I keep saying this is the easiest compensation plan out there for each and every one of us on this call. You can attest to the fact that in as much as everyone is making money with the mining, then of course it makes the work easy for you to understand that we are all getting rewarded, all right? And everyone gets to also renew their license. As a matter of fact, if they are renting it, and equally, they can buy more licenses. Like Chris said, it is the first time we ever hearing people saying, okay, I want to get more, 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 because they are getting value on whatever they have actually purchased, all right? And as a matter of fact, they want to get more value. So it makes the work easy for those of us that want to build. And I really appreciate the effort put in here to explain the comp plan. And I would say that we should all go out there impacting the same knowledge to our team members. That is a key factor here. And we should know that for what you have learned here is that the newest person, get the newest person earning $500 monthly. That is the goal. So the goal here, as I challenge each and every one of us as team builders, is to get the newest person earning $500. And I believe the sky will be your stepping stone. Thank you so much, my big top-notch leaders. I'm really grateful for this call.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Everyone have a great week. Get on the Monday calls with Joe. You can go on our YouTube and get recordings. We'll get this recording out. We'll get it edited, get it out for everybody if they want to share it, rewatch it. Great thing to do. And, you know, always lean on your leaders if you need any help with placement, compensation plan questions. And I promise, like everybody has said on this call, we're all going to make some money. Get excited. 2023 is coming soon. So everyone have an awesome week. We'll talk soon.